To drone or not to drone? That is no more the question. So what then is the question? Stay glued with me for the next 5 to 7 minutes, and you will get to where I'm going to. Toastmaster evening, fellow Toastmasters from both sides of Astana as well as KK Toastmasters. Good evening. Welcome to this presentation. Let me start off with very basics about drones, since this is a little technical. Some of you may know, but bear with me. Drones are also known as unmanned aerial vehicles or UAVs, US unmanned aerial systems, or remotely piloted aircraft systems. The International Civil Aviation considers these as also aircraft. Whether the pilot is on board or elsewhere, they are still classified as aircraft. Now, most of these drones, as I will refer to, are either used in the military, for commercial applications, or for recreational purposes by hobbies. Now, for commercial purposes, there's a lot of application worldwide. It has become very ingrained in today's society. A lot of drones, some in emergency and services and disaster recovery. I understand even in Kazakhstan during the COVID-19, drones were used for security and control, security services, agriculture, they're using for pesticides, spraying, crop health monitoring, environmental management, and a whole host of other activities. So there's a lot of activities going on with the use of unmanned aerial systems or drones. And give you some idea of what drones look like for those who may not be very familiar. On the smaller scale, the hobby scale, the recreational scale, this is a sort of palm-sized drone, which you can hold in your palm. It weighs only about 250 grams, compact, multi-rotor. You can see 4 rotors, so it's called a quadcopter. And by law, it can only operate up to 400 feet above ground level, though it can technically fly higher. It's produced by one of the largest manufacturers of commercial drones in the world, DJI or Dajiang Innovations. This on the smaller scale. Now the other end of the spectrum, this is humongous. This is the global hawk with a wingspan of 131 feet, slightly larger than a Boeing 737. This aircraft is used for defense purposes. It can fly at a maximum altitude of 60,000 feet, well above cruising height of most commercial airliners. It has an endurance of 32 hours, more than a day, and has real-time communications with operating range of 12,000 over nautical miles, used essentially for espionage, surveillance, or reconnaissance. So these are large machines costing about 500 million. This is the other end of the spectrum. So in between, there are a lot of other machines of various sizes, dimensions, capabilities. So it's a huge field as far as drones are concerned. Now look at these statistics here, this data. Drone market size forecast 2018 to 2024. Now, the drone market size will grow to 43 billion USD by 2024, 3 times within a matter of just about 6 years. US and China will dominate the market, but Asia will pull through, or rather pull ahead. India will be the fastest growing drone market. A lot of technological innovations going on in India. Energy is the largest industry that will use drones, but transport is catching up fast. Yes, even Amazon is looking at them for transporting parcels. According to Jeff Bezos, 80% of the parcels are less than 5 kgs. So ideal for transport by way of drones. And this is more interesting. 1.6 million drones worldwide as of today. Compare this with about 250,000 civil aircraft worldwide. So we have far more drones than civil aircraft occupying the same airspace. You'll try to have a feeling of where I'm getting to. Now, this screen shows the number of incidents worldwide during the past 3 years. A lot in US, none in Kazakhstan, fortunately. Nearer to home, even in Singapore, a lot of incidents taking place drones. And the worst is, possibly the worst, even the president of Venezuela, a drone assassination attempt was made on 5th August 2018. So this is a dangerous weapon. Look at UK aviation. It's growing from zero in 2013, in 2018, 125 cases. So much so, Gatwick Airport was closed for more than a day because of some airfield incursions by drones. So the question now is, how to regulate them? No more of whether to drone or not to drone. It's about regulation. How do you integrate them into the world's airspace? Now, the International Civil Aviation has come up with a couple of dossiers, this in 2011. In 2016, they came out with this. And now in September 2020, they're going to have a meeting for calling for innovative solutions for drone airspace management in Rio, which means they do not have the solutions as yet. It's a very tricky subject. So meanwhile, pilot training for drones, pilot testing for drones, pilot licensing, and a whole host of other factors are just put in the back burner and yet flying in the active airspace. Now, if you remember in 2009, US Airways Flight 1049 ingested a couple of large birds and was forced to shut down both engines and land in the Hudson River. Next time, instead of a bird strike, the aircraft could possibly be brought down by a drone strike. So fellow Toastmasters, meanwhile, what do? Keep calm and drone on? You think about it. References for my speech and presentation are available. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Ravi, for that wonderful speech